What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Today we're going to focus in on the Anaheim Ducks Dallas Stars first round preview, or I shall preview that matchup. First off, let's start with how did the teams get here? Start with Dallas, the lower seed. Quite frankly, Tyler Seguin. I mean, you coming over from the Boston Bruins, they gave up, a lot for him, and the Bruins have done pretty well without him, but he has been an MVP candidate for the Stars. 84 points through 79 games, 37 goals, 47 assists, plus 17. Guy shooting the lights out, and just really being a great player. 8 game-winning goals, 11 goals in the power play. I can sit here all day and talk about what he's been able to accomplish. But there are other reasons the team has played well this season. Jamie Benn's been his partner in crime most of the year, putting up 79 points and plus 21 in 81 games. Alex Goligoski, not exactly James Neal looking back in that trade, but 42 points to pace their defenseman. Alex Chiasson, former BU Terrier, playing some amazing hockey. 35 points in 78 games, got off to a really hot start. Minus 20, you kind of want to watch that, but kid's a rookie, he'll get better. I've liked Cody Egan for a long time since his Western Hockey League days. And one of my favorite players in last year's draft, Valery Nikushkin, the 18-year-old. Someone's called him the Soviet sniper, even though he was born, I think, 4 years after the Soviet Union collapsed. This team has played very good hockey, and they've gotten where they are. Tyler Seguin's from the straw cheers the drink. Let's call it what it is. He's elevated the play of the guys around him and that team on the whole, and I think he's going to be a big part of this series. Kari Lettinen's been great, but he's also injury prone at any time. He could go down with an injury, and that's just the way it goes with Mr. Lehtinen. Let's focus in on Anaheim. If you watch my sleeper picks at the start of the season, they're my sleeper pick to win the Western Conference, and they clinched the #1 spot. Had their ups and downs in the last month or so, but there's a reason they're the #1 team in the West. Ryan Getzlaf, totally also in the MVP candidate conversation as well. 87 points through 77 games, playing some great hockey. His running mate Corey Perry, another former league MVP, having a phenomenal run, 82 points through 81 games. Former BU Terrier Nick Bonino really stepping his stuff up, 48 points through 76 games. Perreault and Cogliano, I love Cogliano this season, really being an effective penalty killer, not playing pretty much any power play time, but being a great two-way player they've locked up long-term on a really cap-friendly deal. Cam Fowler had some injuries this year, but he's going to be really effective for them going forward, plus 15 after being a minus every other year of his career. Hampus Lindholm's been a great rookie, and we know how Teemu Selanne can be. He's a little bit older, but I think he can still make his impact on this series. Question with Anaheim, goaltending. Are they going to roll with Hiller, who's been up and down in the last few weeks? Are they going to go with Anderson, who's had his health problems in the last few weeks? Or are they going to really pull a rabbit out of their hat and put the 20-year-old former Kitchener Ranger and United States National Team Development Program member John Gibson between the pipes? I'd go with Gibson. It worked for Montreal in 71 and in 1986 with two guys named Dryden and Roy. Not putting Gibson in that territory yet, but 2 goals given up in 2 career games. Great numbers in the AHL. Been a dominant goalie everywhere he's played. Won a gold medal at the World Juniors for Team USA. I'd put him in there game 1. Nothing phases this kid. He's not going to break under pressure. And you want him in the Stanley Cup, you got to get creative. And the defense has played pretty well in front of him. Obviously, bringing in Robitaille at the deadline was a smart move. And Lovejoy has had a very good year for the Ducks. But I would. I'd give Gibson that look. Give him game 1. Let's do it, kid. And you got Hiller and you got Anderson, who's been up and down with health problems, but 20-5 for Anderson, Jesus, that's awesome. I like Anaheim in this series. I think they've got depth. I think they would had they gone out there and gotten themselves Vanek like they were kind of hinting that they were going to do. I would pick them all the way. I picked them to go to the finals. In my sleeper pick, I picked them in just a piece they did a few hours ago. And I got them in the Stanley Cup Finals. Patrick Maroon has been playing some great hockey as of late, too. Really bringing a physical presence as well. He can be a difference maker. We know what Jacob Silverberg did last year as a rookie with Ottawa. Banged up this year, but I think he can make some noise in the playoffs. And, just looking at it, 30 goals, 43, 21, 18. There's depth. 21 from Cogliano. And then you look at, Vatanen's been a pretty good point producer from the back end. Beauchemin is still a steady presence defensively. This team will win the Western Conference. The Western Conference champion is coming out of the state of California. Let's get that straight right now. particularly with Chicago and St. Louis as banged up as they are. I think whoever the last team standing from California is going to be will be standing in the Stanley Cup Finals. Obviously, two of them are playing each other in San Jose and in Los Angeles, but I've seen people picking Dallas. I think as good as Sagan and them have been, this is Anaheim's year. It just feels like they'll be in the finals, and I can't see. I think Dallas will push them. I think it'll be a 6-game series, but I think Anaheim comes out on top. Getzlaf, Perry, those guys have won. Solani, Boschman, they've all won the Stanley Cup. Then you're looking at Nick Bonino, National Championship. The Cam Fowler Memorial Cup, World Junior Gold Medal, as well as with Gibson. A lot of these guys have played in big games at different levels, and I think that how the pressure of the Stanley Cup playoffs and the disappointment of losing last year to Detroit will get them going. And I'm excited to see how they respond and just how well they play in the playoffs. Because again, I like this team coming into the season. I would like to see them go out and get that missing piece, but I still think they can make some noise and win the Western Conference this season. Keep your eye on that goaltending, though. That's going to be one thing that could go either way for both teams, really. But I don't know who Boudreau would start for Game 1. I'd go with Gibson. I think he will start Hiller, though. But again, I'm on the record. Gibson goes Game 1 and I'm not talking about Bob Gibson, St. Louis Cardinals. I'm talking about Johnny Gibson, U.S. World Junior gold medalist. Anyway, that's all I got this episode of the Power Play with CJ on the Anaheim Ducks Dallas Stars series. Little preview breakdown. Stay tuned for episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.